And I'm sure you might be aware that this committee, as we were playing a role in marking up legislation to address mental health issues on college campuses, had an amendment from the other side of the aisle that was introduced by a congresswoman from Illinois that would strip LGBTQ students from receiving mental health resources. And I am curious if that amendment hadn't failed because the Democratic majority voted it down, would that have violated any equity, code of conduct, violations that we are talking about here today? Would you have issues implementing mental health resources that excluded a segment of students on your campuses, Mr. Hallway?
I want our mental health resources to be available to everybody.
Yeah, it needs to be available to everybody. And so we're here for the third time talking about, and I know this hearing is important to many stakeholders and many individuals. I come from Michigan. We're in the heart of this rising challenge of an ongoing and brutal and terrible war. But as a Democrat on this committee who is focused on increasing and expanding Pell, lowering the cost of higher education, and trying to build equity, it is deeply frustrating and concerning that this is the third hearing that we've had cosplaying about protecting students equally when every single one of my colleagues last term in Congress voted to exclude a group of students from receiving mental health resources. And I sincerely hope that you wouldn't vote to exclude Muslim students from mental health resources, Jewish students from mental health resources, students of color, non-binary students, and the like. We have tons of issues before us in this country. And frankly, those who pretend to care about equity, as we have seen time and time again in this committee, is an outrage. It is an absolute outrage. Go ahead and cut the Civil Rights Office out of the Department of Ed. So you can't get yelled at by my colleagues on the other side of the aisle about how you can stand up and not stand up for students, litigating all these matters of free speech. But when we don't put our money where our mouth is and our policies, we are failing this nation. We are failing Muslim students, we are failing Jewish students, we are failing Christian students, and frankly, we are failing the future of this country. We know what it costs to go to your schools. It's unbelievable how much it costs. That's what we should be focusing on, not this pretend argument about equity when really they are just pretending here.